Okay, so if you don't know, the tempo guys gave me some items to showcase, to spoil, whatever you want to call it. I like the items. One of them I really like. One of them really reminds me of Boulder. So that's great, and I like Boulder. So let's look at them. Here we go. Hi, YouTube. Hello, it's me, the streamer. So first thing they gave me was this tooltip, but we already know what flying is. But for the people who are watching on YouTube or just watching now and haven't watched the video, the new Stelle mechanic is flying. Item is considered flying and is affected by freeze and slow for half of the duration, which is really good in my opinion because there's, at the moment, it's very difficult to deal with freeze. Sure, there's some items and some skills and I guess Radiant Enchantment, but freeze is kind of degenerate when it gets going. So there's that. Now, first item that seems to be getting a rework is Rivet Gun. It's not a major rework, it seems. Rivet Gun is now going to be 6 seconds instead of 10 seconds, and it will not be doing damage. So it will be 6 seconds, charge the item to the left of this by a second. Previously, it was when you use the item to the right of this, charge the item to the left of this by 1 second, right? And it also says, when you use the item to the right of this, charge it by 1 second. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's an upgrade. I feel like it's an upgrade. I think it's a side grade instead of an upgrade. I think it's a really good item. I think, in other words, it's harder to break it, right? If that makes sense. Because if you could charge the item to the right of it currently, you could break it by having it go off a lot and charging the item to the left more, but that's a lot harder to do. But this, I think, is just generally better. So I like that. The next item we have, though, is Toolbox. As I said, this item's already in-game. You can find it from, well, Stelle herself, but you can also find it from the, I believe it's the Boiler Room Brawler, the green guy. Currently, what it does is it just gives you some shield. I can't remember the exact numbers. I think it's also 7 seconds, give you some shield, and it gives you cooldown reduction on your tools. Now it seems like it's an econ item, and basically the fishing rod for Stelle. At the start of each day, get a small tool. 7 seconds, haste the tool to the right by 2 seconds. Is that good? It depends. Like, fishing rod is actually a playable item in my opinion, because you can do like fishing rod catfish early on, like the first day or 2 or even 3. That's good enough usually if you have some defense like Life Preserver. If there's some kind of payoff, maybe, but fishing rod's also 5 seconds and this is 7 seconds, so it's a lot slower. But you're still going to pick it up because it's an econ item and you're going to need econ, right? So that's good. And it will help you find tools for your build. So even when you don't play fishing rod's great because you can find things like crab, zoarcid, jellyfish, etc., right? Sergeant Suds will now deal no damage. Poor Suds. Now, the next item we got is called Skyliner. Big item. Large, it's a vehicle, and it's a weapon. It is a 10-second vehicle. Deals 150 damage, burn 30. It has multicast for each flying item you have. So people were saying while I was watching the video, what's flying payoff? Here is some flying payoff. So it's basically a Bob who will get a lot of multicast for each flying item you have. Not as much probably as Bob, but it'll also stack burn. So it's like a Bob that has a burn enchant already. I don't know the rarity. I will say this. Don't ask me about the rarities. They didn't tell me the rarities of the items. I'm assuming it's going to be gold. I'm assuming the rarity is the rarity of the image. If this starts at silver, that's actually kind of nuts if this is a silver item. Gold and diamond. Okay, okay. Good to know. But yeah, this is pretty solid payoff. I do feel like it could fall off in the late game. Like, this is not an ultra super late game item. But I could see this going up to day 10, especially depending on, like, do you have a way to speed it up? Stelle does have things to charge too. You gotta give stuff flying though. But I think this can work. I think you can definitely build around Skyliner. I mean, we all know how good multicast is by now. Now, our next one is the one I believe that is like bolder. I don't know if I would say it's better or worse than bolder though, but it's basically sort of like bolder. It's Space Laser. Space Laser, big item. 30-second cooldown, deal 9,999 damage. When you use a flying item, though, charge it by 1 second. So I don't know if I would say it's better or worse than Boulder, because it's capped on its damage, unlike Boulder, which scales, right? So someone who gets thick like Pig is like, oh, sure. But charge. Charge, though, means you're probably going to go off multiple times, in my opinion. I don't know. Assuming, like, you're going to want to have crit on this, right? Or an obsidian enchant or whatever. So let's just round, say that's 20,000 damage. I think that's good. And it's at least a gold item, so it means it has a diamond upgrade. What does the diamond upgrade do? Who knows? Does it charge faster? Cooldowns lower? More damage? I don't know. Needing 30 procs is slow. I mean, you're not wrong, but I do like it though. It gives me the option to have some kind of late game just hit you really hard build. Silk scarves greater than space lasers. You know, giant space cannon versus a scarf made of silk. Who would win? I don't know. I really feel like it comes down to just how much small stuff that can be flying, that can charge as well, that Stelle has. Because if we can have chargers charging themselves to charge up the laser, I really hope this isn't I'm a fire in my laser reference. I feel like I'm trying to say it. But, flying rivet gun. See, that's it. It's like flying rivet gun. I don't know. I like this. I like it. Big damage. What do I know, though? And then our final item, the 5th item, is Spotlight. Medium tool. 10 seconds. Double the damage of the weapon to the left. Double the shield of the shield to the left as well. So, a weapon and a shield. And it's only on the left, right? So something on the left that is both has weapon damage and is a shield. 10 seconds is a lot of seconds though, but doubling a number is a lot of number, to put it simply. Laser with Spotlight. See, the problem with Laser with Spotlight is that's 5 item slots taken up. You only have 5 more item slots that you'll need to use to charge your stuff. I feel like, what's her name? Vanessa could use this. Vanessa uses this with Submersible or something. That's kind of cute. Is that better than Julian? I don't think so. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's not better than Julian. But, Spices, except it's larger. And it's shield. Pig, too. Oh, yeah, Pig would like this. Again, the main issue, 10 seconds. It seems like it starts at gold, too, so I guess you can get gold at day 5, but 10 seconds is a lot of seconds, but things like Rivet Gun can charge it. Like you put spotlight, whatever you want to double on the left, then spotlight, then rivet gun, and then something that's activating fast on the right of rivet gun to charge up rivet gun, which will activate and then charge up spotlight. That's what I'm thinking. Of course, I need to see the other items, but just looking from the items we know about, I can see spotlight seeing play. I don't know. Fitness won't charge silk or claw as much as this. I love how we're thinking about like other classes besides Stelle for how to break this item. I mean, this is definitely one item you want to try and break. Like, that's a very powerful ability. Doubling shield, doubling damage is huge. And then we got Space Laser. I really like the Space Laser. I like the art too. But yeah, those are the 5 items I was given to showcase. Reworked Rivet Gun. Reworked Toolbox. Skyliner, aka Flying Bob. Space Laser, aka Boulder but Space Age. And Spotlight. So yeah, when does this come out? I think Wednesday this comes out? On the 13th? If I remember correctly. Like next Wednesday on the 13th is when this will come out. Alongside a bunch of other changes too. So we have a lot of stuff. Now, am I going to play Stelle? Of course I'll play Stelle. I'll be breaking my brain here to try and build Stelle, play a lot of Stelle, and I will probably have a lot of unfortunate journeys and get like 1 win. But whatever. I can already tell. I am going to try so many Skyliner builds and complain when I lose with Skyliner. And then I'm going to get baited by space lasers and pick up space lasers and then die before my laser fires. Or I'm going to fire my laser and then Pig is going to tank it and be like, tee-hee, that tickles. But yeah, those are the items they have shown me. I like them all. I think they're all very interesting. I think there's some pretty solid build-arounds. This is the kind of items I like to see. The payoff, I guess you could say, for certain builds. We were talking earlier, what's the flying payoff? Space Laser seems like some flying payoff. So, pretty solid. I'm not going to get baited to play dinos, don't worry. But yeah, those are the items. Again, thank you to Tempo, though, for letting me preview this. Hello, it's me, very professional streamer. Let me into the content creator program, please, when you create it, devs. But yeah. Great stuff. Again, thank you so much. Hope you also liked it. There you go. Hope you enjoy Stelle when she comes out.